Hello, are you spending too much time on your phone? If so, don't worry, because in this video I'm going to give you 4 strategies that genuinely help me overcome my smartphone social media addiction or compulsion and actually get a real healthy relationship with my smartphone. So let's begin. If this is your first time here guys, my name is Ollie, it's nice to meet you. If you are on the journey of personal growth, then please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that little bell notification so you don't miss any of my videos. So you're likely watching this because you, like I did, started to notice that your social media and smartphone use is starting to become a bit of a problem. Starting to notice that you can't really hold a conversation as much. Starting to notice that you can't pay attention or focus, or you can't read, or whatever it is you want to do. Either way, you've started to notice it's become a problem. Now, I noticed this and I tried all sorts of strategies. I tried just That was a car, perfect timing. I even tried downgrading to a Nokia 105 phone just as a little experiment, because that's how serious it got. But over the course of time, I've tried loads of strategies and not all of them have been particularly helpful. Although, one thing I will say is the 4 strategies, the 4 tips I'm going to reveal to you in just a moment, really did help, and they have been around to stay, and I want to share them with you today just to see what you guys think. Tip number 1. Switch your phone to grayscale. Now, the reason for this, it's just quite simple. You make your screen a lot less enticing and engaging because social media apps use colour really effectively. They know what they're doing. They use colour, usually the colour red for its effects on human attention, to divert your attention to these apps and keep you coming back for more. But the thing is, when you switch to grayscale or monochrome or whatever the phrase is on your phone in particular, you make your screen a lot less interesting. Now, there are some downsides to this because I like taking photos with my phone. I like taking videos and that sort of thing. But it's a bit of a step down because everything's in black and white now. So that's a sacrifice I've had to make. But for me, it's worth it. I much more value my presence and my attention and my relationships and the ability to have a good conversation than I do colour on a picture. Number 2, delete social media apps from your phone and relegate your social media use to your laptop. Now, back in the day, people used email sporadically and infrequently. They checked their emails irregularly on their laptops or on their computers. I prefer to see social media use more like that, more like old email, because I know people check their emails on the phone nowadays, but I can't help but thinking that it'd be a better way if you, in order to go to Facebook and log in and message people and check your notifications and events and stuff, you actually had to go to your laptop, sit down, open it up and pay attention to it with presence. Because part of the problem with the phones is that you can do all this stuff while multitasking and doing other things. So your attention's all over the place and it doesn't feel great. Tip number 3, replace social media for activities that are more in line with your lifestyle, your aspirations and who you want to be. Now this one's really simple. I started to notice that my social media use wasn't really reflecting the kind of person I wanted to be. I wanted to be a kind of person who could hold a conversation and be present with people and appreciate nature and be calm and be creative and have a handle on my thoughts and pay attention to my inner space and stuff. My smartphone use was directly in conflict with that because I was just checking it sometimes every 30 seconds. I wasn't really here, but I wasn't really on my phone either. I was kind of multitasking constantly, all over the place. It wasn't good. So question what value your smartphone and social media use is actually providing for you. Question this and listen to what your inner voice says, because your inner voice might also say, oh no, it's fine, but that might actually be the addiction or the compulsion talking. So you've got to watch out for that as well. And also one thing I'd notice, one thing I'd suggest for you is get clear on your values, aspirations and who it is you want to be, and see whether smartphones, social media and your usage at the moment at least is in line with that path, is putting you on that trajectory, or is it subtracting from your momentum towards that goal, if that makes sense. People who lack direction, who are just wandering about life, they seem to be more susceptible to addictions and compulsive behaviours. But people who have a clear definition or a clear picture or a vision for who they want to be, they seem to be less likely to just drift into being a slave to impulsive pleasures like social media and your smartphone use. Number 4, I would suggest that you measure and track your smartphone usage, because you've got a general impression right now that your smartphone use isn't serving you, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video to this point at least. But what you want to do is get an objective look at what's actually going on. Now there's an app on Android called Your Hour and there's an app on iOS called Moments. So what I'd suggest you do is you download those apps and you check and you track for a week and see exactly where your usage is. It's always a good idea to get an objective look on the situation and set yourself a limit. So for instance, I check my phone 300 times a day, and I wanted to check it 100 times a day, and it was tough. And I have relapses, don't get me wrong, but I more or less got there. So track your smartphone use and you'll notice that you'll make a big improvement. Now, one thing I wanted to say is that I don't think social media and smartphones, I don't think they're the devil. I don't want to have the same sort of witch hunt. I know things are more complex than that, but it's incredibly powerful technology, and we are the transition generation. We're like the canaries down the mine, navigating our way around these new technologies and not really having a guidebook or a map for what these things could mean for our society and us as individuals. But what I suggest we do is, as we're navigating this new territory, we pay close attention and we be willing to make changes if it benefits our greater potential. I have another YouTube video related to social media addiction and how to cure social media addiction. So check that one out, guys. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Be yourself.